Hi guys, my name is Natasha and in this video I want to explain to you the meaning of the song Plak-Plak or Boo-hoo by ICEPEAK. I see so many people writing in comments that they want to learn Russian after ICEPEAK's songs. It inspired me and I decided to make a detailed review of this song from the language and cultural perspective. I will thoroughly analyze both the official and literal translation in Russian. Also, this video is intended for people who already know some Russian vocab and know the Cyrillic alphabet. So if you're a beginner, it's better for you first to learn the Cyrillic letters to be able to read the words. Okay, let's proceed to the analysis. In this song, ICEPEAK brings up a very important problem of the domestic violence, and it is really relevant to Russia. It's a song about girls being raised to be obedient and submissive, while their thoughts and feelings are dismissed, and how that leads to a massive amount of the domestic violence. Here we see the emotional conflict of the woman who loves her husband but can't endure the suffering anymore. Ultimately, she kills him and mourns his death. Their daughter is watching this, and it will forever remain a childhood trauma for her. First, I want to translate the name of the song Plak-Plak. The word plak in Russian comes from the verb plakать, to cry, and a noun plach, or crying. In English, it's translated as boo-hoo, a sound of someone crying noisily. But unlike boo-hoo, plak-plak is not crying noisily, but rather crying silently and helplessly. It also helps us to understand the main character. Okay, let's review the song line by line. I was writing to you and waiting for you till the daylight. Я тебе писала, you wrote. In Russian, when we speak about an electronic message, we say the word писать, to write, even though you don't write it by your hand. We do have the word for text, it's text, but only as a noun. So to text in Russian is to write, писать. И ждала тебя в ночи, and waited you in night. Because this phrase в ночи sounds really poetic, ICEPEAK prefer to translate it not as in the night, but till the daylight, adding the duration of the action. In Russian colloquial speech, if you want to say at night or in the night, you will say just ночью. It's just the word night, ночь, in the instrumental case. You don't answer my calls anymore. Ты не отвечаешь, you don't answer, больше на мои звонки, anymore on my calls. Here I want to know the word звонки. It's plural from звонок, and звонок in Russian means both a call and a bell. It comes from the root word звон, or the ring. It's interesting that the name of the film The Ring is translated to Russian as звонок, but it's losing this wordplay with the ring as this circle ring that you're wearing on your fingers when you are engaged. Because this type of ring in Russian is not звонок, but кольцо. Every night I leave a tooth under my pillow. Каждый вечер оставляю. Every night leave. Под подушкой зуб. Under pillow, tooth. I want to draw your attention to the fact that I omit the articles a and the, because in Russia we don't need them. Instead, we use the word один, or one, for a, and the word этот, or this, for the. Anyway, here we translate the word вечер as night, but actually вечер in Russian is evening. In Russian we have a clear distinction between the evening and the night, so English phrase tonight can be mistakenly understood by Russian person today night time, not just the event that is happening this evening. So evening in Russian is вечер, and the night in Russian is ночь. Begging heaven to bring you back. Умоляя небеса, begging the skies, назад тебя вернуть. Back you return. The word небеса is plural from небо, the sky, but there ICEPEAK reasonably replaced it with more sublime heaven, while the actual heaven in Russian is рай. We can also meet this word in another ICEPEAK's new song called Terrorist. There Nastya sings if doomsday is coming, I will not go to heaven. So these two lines mean that the character was leaving the truth under the pillow in hope that some miracle will happen and the gods will return her husband back. It's the demonstration of Stockholm Syndrome when a victim wants to return to the abuser. It also can be a metaphor for the almost social suicide that a woman has to endure when she takes her children and leaves her husband and has to carry all the burdens with no one helping her. I was always a good girl, I never was bad. Я была хорошей, I was good, а плохой я не была, but bad I was not. Here it's quite self-explanatory, let's move on. All my life I acted just right. И всю жизнь, and all life, как паинька, as паинька, по правилам жила, by the rules lived. The word паинька means a person who is very obedient. It comes from the root word pie. It has nothing to do with the pie as a cake. It's just a Russian root, which we can also meet in the word pie девочка, pie girl, and pie мальчик, pie boy. By these words, we call children who are really obedient. But to me, this word also has a negative connotation. Now I'm fed up with crying and suffering. Let's go to the literal translation. Надоело плакать, I'm fed up to cry. Надоело мне страдать. I'm fed up to suffer. The construction надоело is really interesting. We use that when something annoys or bothers you. The word надоело comes from the infinitive надоедать or надоесть. It refers to the word еда, food, and есть, to eat. So when something is надоело to you, it means that you're fed to the teeth and you're really bothered by this. You never know how you're gonna die anyway. Все равно не выйдет. Anyway will not work out. Свою смерть предугадать. Your death to predict. Все равно literally translates as all equal or all the same. Не выйдет, literally it is not will go out, so we should understand it as will not work out. Свою смерть, one's death, предугадать is the word which consists of a prefix пред, which is for, and угадать comes from the verb гадать, to guess. And here we have the root God. It has nothing to do with the God, it's just the root which we can also meet in the word гадание. And гадание is a very important concept of future telling in the Slavic culture. And the tradition of гадание includes many rites. So, in these 4 lines, the character says that she is tired of suffering. When living with that man, she could die at any time, so to commit this cruel crime was her last resort. And now, through the beautiful footage, we're jumping to the chorus. My mother taught me to obey my man. Мама говорила мне. Mama told me. Слушайся мужа. Obey husband. Слушаться means to obey. It comes from the word слушать, to listen. The root слух means hearing, and слушайся is a reflexive verb which carries the idea of self. So when we add a suffix ся to the verb, it means that you are doing something by yourself. So the word слушай, listen, plus the suffix ся means you listen or obey. I don't listen to her, I do as I want. Я непослушная, делаю хуже. I, disobedient, do worse. Непослушная consists of the prefix не, which means not, and an adjective послушная. It relates to the previous word and has the same root слух or слуш. So непослушный is an adjective used to describe a person who doesn't follow others' rules. Делаю хуже. Here the word хуже means worse, and хуже is a comparative of bad. So English, bad, worse. The worst in Russian will be плохой, хуже, худший. Also, it can be самый плохой. I don't listen to my dad's rules too. Делаю не так, I do not so, как наказывал папа. As ordered, dad. Here, the word наказывать is related to приказывать, to order, or to указывать, to point out. So we can see that this root каз is in many words. Normally, the word наказывать or наказать means to punish, but in this very context, it means to order or to give advice or recommendation. Instead of a star, I'm wishing on a grenade. Вместо звезды, instead star, я хватаю гранату. I grab grenade. This relates to the Russian phrase хватать звезды с неба, to grab stars from the sky, and it means to have outstanding abilities leading to great achievements. So here we see that the character, instead of being loved and developing only high feelings, has to take up arms and protect herself. I wish to hug you as I used to do. Я хотела бы тебя, I would like you, как тогда обнять, as then to hug. The phrase как тогда has a nostalgic meaning and it can be translated as back then or as in those times. But then you have to dig out your body. Но для этого придется, but for this I'll have to, тело раскопать. Body dig out. The word придется means will have to. Its past form пришлось or приходилось and present form приходится comes from the roots шел, went, and ход, movement. In Russian, we call this type of verb impersonal. When some external actor is forcing you to do something, you're saying it came to me, мне пришлось. Your cold bones lay somewhere down there. Literal translation. Твои кости ледяные, your bones icy, где-то там на дне, are somewhere on bottom. The adjective ледяные is plural from ледяной, and ледяной means extremely cold. This word comes from the word лед, which is ice. Let's discuss the phrase на дне. Дно is the bottom. So, дно реки is the bottom of the river. And this word sounds really cold. Also, this word can be used with the negative connotation when we're speaking about the social bottom, социальное дно. It means people of their lower class or people in the underworld. One day flowers will sprout through this mourned soil. Прорастут цветы, will sprout flowers в этой оплаканной земле, in this mourned soil. Do you remember I told you about the root плак or плач, which means crying? So here the adjective оплаканная means mourned, or literally it is covered by tears, covered with tears. Your brains are all over the wall. Растекаются по всей стене. Spread out on all wall. Твои мозги, your brains. The word растекаться comes from the root течь, to flow. So together with this prefix раз, it means to flow out, to flow everywhere. I got so angry, I'm so sorry. Literal translation. Очень разозлилась на тебя. Very got angry on you. Ты уж прости. You though forgive. The word разозлиться comes from the word зло or evil. To get angry with somebody means to carry evil for this person. The next word уж is related to уже, already, but in this context it can be translated as though or somehow. Fun fact, уж is also a name of the snake, it's adder. Прости comes from the word прощать or простить, and it means to forgive. I saw you dead in my dreams 100 times. Сотый раз во сне, 100th time in dream, я наблюдаю твой конец. I watch your end. So the word сотый is an ordinal of 100, 100. Конец translates as the end, and here it means death or disease. I have no fear of death. Мне не так уж страшно. To me, not so much scary. В самом деле, умереть. Indeed, to die. Here, I want to know the structure for мне страшно, I'm scared. Its literal translation is to me, it's scary. So in Russian, we describe many conditions by an external actor. For example, if I'm cold, I will not say я холодный, я холодная. I will say to me, it's cold. Мне холодно. Alright guys, we analyzed all the words and let's finish watching the video. I decided to choose exactly this song because it is really relevant to the current domestic violence situation in Russia. Thousands of women are suffering from the domestic violence every year. In 94% of cases, a murder weapon used for defense was a kitchen knife. However, some people think that it's not a problem, that it's the woman's fault, that she is provoking her husband to beat her. It is actually the Russian authorities who are the hotbed of the victim blaming and abuse. For example, in 2018, the official Leonid Slutsky was accused of sexual harassment by many female journalists. However, he didn't get any condemnation and still works in the government. Russia still doesn't have the law against domestic violence, and even people who are working in the government themselves say that this law will be a mockery of the traditional family values and interference in the family. So these people think that physical abuse is a part of traditional family values. They say that women are guilty and it is their fault. Because of this stigma, women are scared and they continue to tolerate the abuse. We even have a saying in Russia: «Бьет, значит любит». If he beats you, he loves you. Indeed, in the Russian patriarchal culture, which is actively supported by our government, beating your wife has been always considered something necessary if you want to pacify and educate her. I think it's a shame that we call this our traditional proverb. However, it's getting better. Recently, one celebrity, Regina Todorenko, made a mistake, and in her speech about domestic violence, she said that it's the woman's fault and what did you do to prevent him from beating you? This caused a wave of negativity towards Regina, and many brands broke their contracts with her. I know that in America and Europe such statements would just kill your career, but Regina apologized and she even made a film with investigation of the domestic violence problem in Russia. This movie got many views and I'm really glad about that because now more people will start to speak up and to think about this important problem. We need this big public response to show people that domestic violence should not exist in Russian society. It should not exist in any country at all. And such pieces of art as the song Plak-Plak by ICEPEAK are statements that are driving us to important conclusions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new today. Feel free to write in comments your opinion about the domestic violence problem, your opinion about the song, and how did you like the language review. Was it too difficult for your level or was it okay? Like this video, subscribe, and I will post more videos about Russia and the Russian language. You can also subscribe to my Russian channel where soon will be posting my travel vlogs. Thank you very much, take care and stay safe. See you soon!